I don't remember when I first met Candice Carr. I do remember that we were in chorale together.
I have absolutely no idea how we met. It was probably during something weird and random because I feel like that is Candice Carr to a T. It's just like all over the place and like involved in a lot of different things. Probably, I'm sure we probably met through the BCM.
I have seen her grow in tremendous ways. Her faith, I call her my hero because, golly, she trusts the Lord like no one I've ever met. She wants to die for the Lord. And people think that that's radical, yet that's what we're called to do, and I can't say that about myself. I remember Candice when she wasn't like that, and just to see her grow from relationship hardships and trusting the Lord with minor things, I am so honored that the Lord would have her in my life.
I was really conflicted with what am I going to do with my life. I was undecided. It was like November, my freshman year, so it was kind of panic was setting in. And I just talked to her about what she was doing and studying the languages and her motivation for it. We talked about missions and why it's important to go where people don't know the gospel, and just talked about the Lord and that on that night I was like, okay, well, I know what my major is. And so Candace played a really big role in like helping me just kind of bite the bullet and do this thing. And so I appreciate that role that Candace played in my life because it definitely, I think the Lord would have done whatever he wanted, but Candace was the instrument that he chose to kind of set that in motion. So it's really neat, I think.
Always spot on in correcting me, calling me out. Not many people are willing to do that with me. I feel like people are afraid of me sometimes, but Candace doesn't care. She's gonna tell it like it is. She has been a warrior, a prayer warrior for me, that I know that if I had something, without a doubt, she would be on her knees for me. And not just a, Lord, Elena's dealing with this today. Can you please help her? No, like a plea to the Father, like it was her own problem. And I am so grateful for that.
I've had a lot of cherished memories with Candace. She's older than me. She's 4 years older than me, or 2 years older than me. She's older than me anyway. I've always kind of looked up to her. And so just a lot of different instances. She has really been good about being proactive and like speaking the gospel to me and not preaching it, but just being fluent, like in everyday conversation. And so like, obviously that's encouraging. It spurs me on to just to seek the Lord. And like, I just really appreciate that Candace is very unashamed of the gospel and also just unashamed of just being herself. And she doesn't try to fit, and she probably can't fit, into anybody else's box that they try to put around her. So I just appreciate that what you see is what you get with Candice Carr. That she's just very genuine and has never, I've never seen where she has tried to alter herself to fit the stereotype or to be a people pleaser. And I think that that's what people really like about Candice.
She loves in ways that I could never imagine loving. She feels for people in ways I could never imagine. And it's funny because she would always be like, I wish I cared for people the way you did. And honestly, it's the other way around. She is dedicated I mean, she's the first female to graduate with a biblical studies degree, and not only did she pass her classes, but she beasted them, okay? She excelled in those classes, and she didn't just do it because she just wanted the degree. She did it because she loved the language. She loves scripture that much. She loves people that much that she would learn that the language of scripture so that people who don't have scripture in their language would know.
I just really appreciate that Candice is a hard worker, and that she takes her studies really seriously. And I appreciate that that she has, like, I guess, committed to being a biblical studies major, and so I can just really empathize with that. It's difficult, but that she is committed to it and isn't doing it halfway. So I really appreciate that.
I'm so proud of Candice, and I'm so honored to be her friend.